Hello, welcome back to my channel. On my channel, I've been doing a lot of clowning on women recently for their stupid takes on TikTok and whatnot. But today we're gonna mix it up. We're going to watch a video by Fresh and Fit, okay? This is their second most popular video. Arrogant chick got humbled for thinking she's the prize, okay? I have never seen Fresh and Fit. I've seen videos of other people reviewing Fresh and Fit. I have not followed them, however. I do know that they got banned off of YouTube, demonetized or something like that. And yeah, I've heard a lot of bad things about them. Really, I don't think they're very intelligent. I've seen like some kind of parties that they throw, and they seem like sort of very soft guys that are posers. You know what I mean? And I think I do know another thing about this guy, that he says he's hard and all that. Like, this is basically red pill people, but they are sort of on the extreme side. You could even call them maybe hateful against women. And this guy over here, actually, he's got a big scandal that yeah, made him look really bad. It was to do with some chick that he got pregnant or whatever. But we're gonna watch this. We're gonna see if this arrogant chick actually does get humbled, okay? And I feel like they know exactly who they're picking to come to their event. And I don't know if it's the brightest bunch, okay? But we're gonna have a look. We're gonna see like what this is about.
What about you?
I disagree.
What?
The expectations that you set from the beginning is how a man's gonna treat you from there on. And like, yeah, I get the whole coffee thing and stuff, but
That's not true, guys. That's not true. You can negotiate things. People don't always stay the same. And you can talk. It's important to talk things through. So I don't think that's true.
like for me personally, I take my time very valuable. So I'm gonna ask all those questions before the first date. I don't need to get to know you before the first date.
Really?
I should already like be asking the questions, like whether it be through text, phone, FaceTime, because then if you're actually getting the privilege to like go on a date with me,
Privilege?
that's a big step. Yeah.
Okay, so she's gonna vet you thoroughly to make sure that you're suitable.
What about him?
Facts.
Both. I mean, I see it as both.
The privilege? The privilege?
The privilege.
It is a privilege, isn't it? But it's a privilege for both parties. It's not just a privilege for the man, right? It's a privilege to get taken out as well, to get paid for. It is, and it's lame when you don't acknowledge it. It's really the lack of it's women not being humble. And there's a lot of like there's a lot of sort of me and entitlement. That's the word I was looking for. And it's not attractive.
The privilege? All right. Out of curiosity,
Yo, man, get her, man.
yeah,
Yo, man, forget it.
Get her, man, because this is a sort of this is a setup for these ladies. These ladies don't know what they're getting into. They just want some clout, but really they're here to be the laughing stock.
Yo, get her, man.
you're picky with the men that you
there
date.
it goes. Yeah.
You're picky with the men that you date. Okay. Do they got to be taller than you?
I mean, I'm 5'5", so yeah,
Okay. Do they got to earn more than you?
Short.
of course,
Be more
Broke.
intelligent or competent than yourself?
of course.
Okay. So the man that you're looking for more than likely is kind of rare. Would you say most men are unattractive to you?
But we didn't talk about attractiveness. You
I'm
said
saying
tall and
that's a component
network.
of him being attractive.
okay. No,
So-
he doesn't have to be a 10, honestly.
No, of course not. But
Okay.
I'm saying like a majority of men, do they meet your standards?
No.
So yeah, so by definition, you're selective and you're picky.
Correct.
Okay. Now, do you think the man that you're going to go out with more than likely is as selective as you?
Yeah, I would think so.
No, they're not.
Well,
They're not. Men are.
Okay, well, how can you just say a blanket statement like that? See, I have a problem with blanket statements. I do not accept that. I think that each case is individual when it comes to at least a majority of men, because men, I don't think, subscribe so much to groupthink as women do, and I think that men have a little more individuality in most cases. I'm not saying everybody, but
They're not nearly as picky as women. So
Yeah.
who really has the privilege?
Facts.
Ooh.
okay.
Because I don't.
as I've said, it's a privilege for both people. If it's okay, it can be a privilege or it can be a nightmare. And it depends, on chemistry and whatever.
I don't think women understand that, like, you guys are very replaceable. You even said it yourself when she gave her own traits. Hey, there's another girl that can do that. Well, you're very right, because the threshold for us to be attracted to a woman is very low. Be attractive, don't be a pain in the ass, don't be a whore.
Okay, well, it depends on what the guy's looking for, That's very, very rude to say that you're just replaceable, because if you really have a genuine connection, is that so replaceable? Okay? I'm not talking about dating culture or just satisfying your hedonistic needs, okay? Yes, you can do that with everyone, like with anyone. Satisfying your hedonistic needs is the easiest thing ever, okay? You don't even have to go on a date, bro. There is an industry for satisfying your sexual desires, okay?
We'll go out with you. But you guys, on the other hand, I need to be tall, I need to be charming, I need to be cool.
Money,
She went out with some millionaires.
Okay. I wouldn't allow anybody to speak to me the way that, like, they are.
On the
What
other
is
hand, I
this?
need to be tall, I need to
What is the heckling in the background?
be charming, I need to be cool.
Money,
Is this bullying? Is this why they got banned?
She went with some millionaires, and she said they're not interesting. They don't have a vibe. So it's very hard to please women. So the reality is, if you're going out on a date with a guy, that means he's been vetted to some degree. It's really your privilege to go out with him.
Gotcha, bitch.
Well, it is hard to please women, that is true, but equally, I guess, if they're looking for a top percentage man or whatever, the best specs, the best model out there, then I'm sure they will have high standards as well, So I think it's a two-way street, as is most things, okay? These influencers, they try to make it sort of black and white, don't they? They try to break it down to a clear sort of position. Look at that freeze frame, bro. To a clear position where they can dance around that. But really it's reductive. And whenever something is reductive, then it's really not fair to the parties involved, because you're seeing them as a construct now and not as a person.
Okay.
But I always find it interesting how, like, girls kind of, like, look at it like I'm the prize. Not really. I don't think so.
You're not.
Boy, bruh,
It's crazy.
I was just having this conversation with somebody. They was like,
You can be a prize. You can. Or you can be a nightmare. It's up to you to an extent, It takes two to tango.
women, they go all around the world. They fix themselves up. They do all these things to find a man or to get this one guy. So in reality, who's the prize? If you doing all this stuff, you getting BBLs, you getting your teeth done, you getting all this shit done. You out here walking around fancy to get this guy attention. So who actually is the prize?
Well, the point is that
I'm not getting
I'll make it even fun. I'll make it even funnier. The girl don't even got to do all that bullshit, and she'll
That
get the guy.
part.
Yep.
Tell me about it.
You know what I mean? So here's the thing: since women are more selective, right, and they have higher standards, that means by definition the man that they're dealing with is rare, right? So if the man is rare, who's really the prize? Who's easier to replace? Supply and demand. Attractive men are low in supply, demand goes up. Attractive women are in crazy supply. There's a bunch of them.
A lot.
So are they really in demand? I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know if that's true. I think attractive people are equally rare, to be honest. I may be wrong about that. Please tell me in the comments. Am I wrong about that? Because if you look around, just in the street, just people watch for a bit, it's an equal spread more or less. So I don't think that's true. I think that Myron is making it seem, yeah, a little more one-sided, a little more favorable in his from his point of view. And I like how he's got his notes there. That's very professional of him, and the girls are just sitting there with their arms folded and being like, I don't know what to do.
I mean, there's a reason why you go on a music video shoot. There's 2 or 3 rappers, but there's 30 girls. You go to a nightclub. There's 1 or 2 dudes in a section, but 50 girls.
Yep.
That's because everybody likes girls, especially pretty girls.
Right? For men, we want quantity. For you guys, you want quality. Why is it that I can have multiple girlfriends?
Okay, I'm getting pissed off. This guy doesn't speak for men, okay? Please, people, can I just not be part of this thing? I do not want to be spoken for by this individual. If you want to know something about me, ask me. Okay? Don't ask this guy what men do or don't do, okay? Because that's wrong. That's not true. I'm sure there's plenty of men that are one girl kind of man, So, no.
With girls knowing that I have other girls, and it's fine, but it would never work the other way around.
Nick.
It's not true. It would work the other way around. There are open relationships, right? So, I mean, that's an example of it working the other way around. I personally don't like that kind of thing. I kind of get really attached to people that I'm seeing, so I don't think that would work for me, but I'm sure a lot of people are quite happy with it. Or not. I don't know. I don't know if I've met anybody like that.
Women are okay with sharing men, and women understand kind of deep down that, like, men of value have options, and you guys really don't have as many options as you guys think you do. You guys actually have less options than you guys think you do. Because just because a guy hits you up on Instagram and says, "Hey, baby girl, you hot,"
Hey,
or some
bitch.
dude hits you up on what was that, Hinge or whatever, how many of them are real candidates?
I like how he's making it seem like he doesn't know what Hinge is. Bro knows what Hinge is.
Not many.
A majority of them are not.
Ooh.
Look, you how long you been in Miami yourself?
I literally got here yesterday.
Okay. Did you go to the club yesterday? Or you went out?
Yeah.
How many men approached you?
A lot.
Bro, she went to the club. Of course she did.
Yeah, a lot.
Okay. How many of them
Yes.
do you even entertain or talk to? Maybe 1 or 2?
No, they were not kind of in the caliber that I was looking for. So
Rich.
no.
Wait,
I was
she
in
did the
Wynwood,
rich check and
so
said, "Fuck it."
What?
Which
Oh,
club?
no, yeah.
I was
club?
at Dirty Rabbit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been there before. My friend took me.
But
so.
and I don't mean to like pick on you, but I'm just using that as kind of like a raw example. Like you get a girl here, right? She comes in from Ohio and she's out and about, and then all these guys go up to her and she's giving a majority of them no time of day.
Yeah.
So it's like that means most men are not attractive to most women. And I guarantee for all of you guys probably experienced that. A bunch of guys might come up to you, talk to you or whatever, and you reject most of them.
Yeah.
So if a guy does come along that's attractive, who's really the prize, ladies? But I think women kind of come in.
That makes sense, kind of. Yeah, that does make sense. It is kind of true that most women are looking for that unicorn nowadays. And it's an unfortunate reality for them because there's only so many of those unicorns around. And you know what? They're probably going to treat you like shit as well. All right. I don't think I'd want to watch any more of this, but you let me know in the comments. Is this some good stuff? Do you like this? Because from first glance, this first video that I've seen, it doesn't seem really bad, but I have witnessed a lot of people clowning on them really hard. And I know that they have had some pretty pretty embarrassing stuff surfaced about them. So I wouldn't I wouldn't put all my stock in them, you know. But it was interesting. I still don't like the format because I don't think these girls can defend themselves particularly well, to be honest. And I don't know if all the information they're being given is really worthwhile, or if it's even if it's even credible in any way. You know, it constructs a very nice narrative for a if you're a guy, right? But I really don't know how true any of it is or anything like that. Anyways, thanks for watching. Subscribe.